Hello, everybody. It's Carmela here with our CEO Mindset Chat. I just wanted to jump on here and have a little chit chat with you for a few minutes and encourage you. Encourage you to what we always do, right? Believe in yourself, to be able to say that I'm worth it, to encourage you to go that extra mile, to encourage you to go after your dreams, to encourage you to chase after your future, to encourage you to do all those things that I know I sound like a broken record. Hey there, thanks for joining. I know I sound like a broken record, but listen, you have to hear it over and over and over again until it gets in your spirit, until it becomes real, and you're able to say, I'm worth it. I'm worth chasing after my dream. I'm worth the next steps. I'm worth investing in me. I'm worth the hard work. I'm worth the sacrifice. I'm worth it. And I think for women particularly, we really struggle with saying I'm worth it, because we can quickly say that our sister is worth it. We can quickly cheer her on for the accomplishments that she's made, but we don't always so quickly cheer ourselves on. And so, hey everybody, I wanted to jump on here and ask you this question: who is responding for you? And I know I'm a little later than normal, so some of you may catch the replay, but let's just engage whether you're catching the replay. If you're catching the replay, just say, let me know that you're catching the replay. And if you're live, you'll see that little live button right up there in the top. So my name is Carla Williams, and I am your small business coach and leadership expert. I love doing leadership training. I love working with small business owners and helping you see the value in what it is that you offer. It's really interesting because I've done a couple of one-on-ones with the ladies in the Elite Women's Academy. And in our first session, we're looking at how to take what they currently offer and how they can make $6,000 to $10,000 doing what it is that they currently offer. And I haven't added anything new to what they're doing. It's just having a new set of eyes and a new perspective, looking at what it is that they're doing and showing them how to pull it together in a cohesive package to be able to bring income into their houses so that their businesses can be sustainable. So keep your eyes open on my page. I'll be sharing some of those testimonies on today as well. So I really enjoy working with these ladies and showing them how to make things happen. But this is my question for you today. Who is answering for you? Who is answering for you? My coach had made a post this morning that says, I'm making decisions based on the me that I desire to be and not the me that I currently am. And I was like, oh gosh, that's a whole lesson in that one statement. I'm making decisions on the me that I desire to be and not the me that I currently am. Hence my question, who's answering for you? Because some of you as entrepreneurs, you know that you need to be working with me, right? You're ready, but you're answering based on who you currently are. You're answering based on your current financial situations. You're answering based on what you currently see in front of you. But I challenge you to answer based on the you that you desire to be. Because if you are currently in your business, bringing in $200 or $300 a month, and then I can partner with you and show you how you can do those things, turn it up a notch, and then bring in 4 times that, then it's worth the investment. You got to think of where you want to be a year from now. And the answers and decisions that you make have to be based on the you that you will become, not the you that you currently are. And so that's why you have to know how to pray and seek the Lord and be able to take those healthy risks when it comes to your business and investing in yourself. You got to invest in yourself. If I could spend 60 minutes with you and show you how to take your current product or your current services and turn that into $6,000 to $10,000 between now and December, would you be willing to make the investment? Sure you would. But the only way you would make that investment is if you answer based on the you that you desire to be. Let me share with you 5 tips, right? Because I like to come on here and share with you about what we got going on, but I also want to make sure that I give you something every single time that I come on here. And so I'm going to share with you 5 things that you need to make sure that you're doing to be successful. Now, these tips I got from a gentleman by the name of Eric Warray, and then I just put my own spin on them. So I don't take credit for other people's stuff. So these are his tips, but there's my examples that go along with them, right? So number one, be a right now person. Oh, thank you. Be a right now person. Being a right now person means that you're not always putting things off. I have, Carmela, I really want to do it. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to jump in the next time. And then the next time will come and you'll say, you know what? I'm going to jump in the next time. You got to be a right now person. Remember, you are answering based on the you that you desire to be. Let me put my glasses on. If you're not answering based on right now, if you're not a right now person, you're the type of person that always making these type of excuses. Say, okay, well, you know what? The holidays are coming up. And so I'll get started as soon as the holidays are over. Or you say things like, well, my kids are little right now, and I'll get started as soon as my kids get a little bit bigger. Or you'll say, well, you know what? I'm tired right now. I'm going through a lot in my body, so I'll get started. It's just too much going on in my family. So I'll get started when everybody is healed, set free, and delivered. No, baby. Number one is you got to be a right now person. If you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to be a right now person. You got to understand where you are right now. You got to understand where it is you desire to be. You got to answer based on the you that you desire to be, but you got to make a move right now. Right now. That's your first tip. Number two, have goals. That's easy, right? You think, well, I already knew that. I need to have goals. You got to have short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. You got to look back and take inventory. You got to learn from the mistakes that you've made in the past. You got to learn from the mistakes that you've made in the past, and then you got to move forward. I talked with somebody that talks about, a very financially costly mistake that they made, but guess what? They won't make that same mistake again because they have learned from that particular mistake. And the next time moving forward, they'll be able to move even further because they made the mistake, they learned from the mistake, and we get up and we try again. So it's okay to have goals, but this is what you got to do. I'm going to lean in and say this. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. I can't think of not one successful entrepreneur that did not make a mistake. Mistakes are going to happen. But a lot of times we won't even set the goals. We won't even get to the next level because we're thinking we won't even launch our programs because we're talking about, well, what if nobody joins? What if they do? What if nobody supports me? What if they do? What if nobody buys my product? What if they do? What if nobody gets on my live? What if they do? Set your goals. You got to do that. You got to set them. Set short-term goals. Set long-term goals. Set mid-term goals. If you don't know how to set goals, that's fundamental. You should be in my masterclass on Saturday. So you can look at how to set these goals, how to break those goals down into workable pieces, right? So my gift is administration. One of the things that I can do is I can take very complex visions and then I can break them down into workable phases. That's my sweet spot. So that's why when I talk to my clients in these women at the Elite Women's Academy and we have our first one-on-one session and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how quickly we were going to be able to see how I can achieve these numbers. That's what I do. That's just how the Lord created me. And I love it. Here we go. Number 3. Oh, y'all, this is my favorite one. Create an environment that supports your growth. Number 3, create an environment that supports your growth. Don't be surrounded by people that make it easy for you to quit, y'all. Number 3 is create an environment that supports your growth. Don't create an environment of people that make it easy for you to quit. When your family and your loved ones, your friends make it easy for you to quit, it doesn't mean that they don't believe in you. They're usually just trying to protect you. They don't want you to be hurt. They don't want you to lose money. They don't want you to make a bad decision. But that's not how business works. If your business is going to be successful, you have to take healthy risks. And there's going to be some mistakes that you're going to make along the way. But if you recover from those mistakes, it's going to be worth it in the end, right? I'm not promoting mistakes, but I'm just telling you, I don't want you to think just because you move forward in business that it's going to be perfect all the time. Business is like this. ebbs and flows. It's never just straight up. It's never just straight down either. It ebbs and flows. And if you are a good steward on the rise, you'll be able to do fine on the downs. That's when you recover. It's during my worst times that I was downloaded with the coolest ideas. I would come back with better ideas. I would come back with better stories. Because I remember when I first got started 5 years ago, I didn't have examples of what I was teaching. Because I was teaching what I had learned, but I had not fully experienced. And so here we are over 5 years later, almost 6 years now. The stuff that I'm teaching you, I've walked through it. You know, there were some good days and there were some rough days. There were people that started out with me and started out supporting me who became my competition. They became my competition in their own mind, not in my mind. They made me the enemy, even though I was still trying to pour into them. I was still trying to help them get to the next level. It took a while before I realized that they didn't want my help. Oh, and I'm not talking about a client. I'm talking about people we were building and we were growing together. So sometimes you got to go through all of that stuff so that your story becomes real and relatable. I know we've all had those people that you were trying to help and they viewed you as competition. Those type of people are real dangerous, but that's a whole nother conversation. We still in number 3, create an environment that supports your growth. Now look at this. Listen at this. We don't look for the environment. There's a key word in here. We create it. Somebody drop in the comments, create it. See, you're not looking for the environment that supports your growth. You must create it. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. You got to create it. You got to get in the way. You got to go where the people are that are focused on growing and getting to the next level. You got to create it. I remember when I first started, I didn't see other coaches here locally. I had to travel. I had to go to the conferences. The conference was held for coaches, speakers, and trainers through my certification. They're held twice a year. And I was going twice a year. I went 5 times in a row. So that meant 1 year I went once, and in the next 2 years, I went twice. Those years, I invested money. It wasn't free. I had to take time off work. I had to drive by myself. And you know, me and my husband, I don't do nothing by myself. I had to drive by myself. I remember one time driving home, he had to talk me in because I was so tired. I was so sleepy. But I had to be there in the environment where it was not easy for me to quit. I had to be in the environment with other people that was going to the next level. I had to be in the atmosphere, in the environment with people who were already successful in business. I had to be in the environment for people that say, oh, Carmela, you can do this. So if you don't see anybody around you that's doing what you're doing, help other people get there. Build it, create it. And that's what I'm telling you to do. Create it. That's why you need to be in groups like my masterclass or the Elite Women's Academy, because you're being very intentional about creating an environment for success around other women that expect you to win. Create the environment. That's number 3. Number 4, evolve. One word, evolve. 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 You must change and grow. I'm not the same businesswoman I was 5.5 years ago because I had to change. I had to adjust. I had to pivot. I was just on a call. That's why I couldn't be on here at 12:15 because I had another program I had to be in. And somebody was talking about how, businesses and organizations are being affected because of COVID. And they specifically said, and Carmela, how are things going on your end? And I was saying, well, actually, things have been better because of COVID. It's crazy. I know, and I try not to talk about it much because I do understand that people are having a hard time. But what I want you to hear me now, hear my heart. Everybody ain't struggling because of COVID. Everybody's business is not struggling because of COVID. Everybody's organization is not struggling because of COVID. Do you know that some of the most successful businesses are birthed in the middle of a depression or a hard time that the country is going through because they find a problem and create a solution to it? This is not the time for you to sit back and do nothing. This is the time for creativity to be flowing through you. This is the time, if you're an author, that you should be writing books. This is the time, if you're selling products, that you should have it in front of people every day. You should be utilizing social media and every free resource that you can. This is the time, whereas before, when we would try to have virtual workshops and things like that, people were looking at us like we're crazy. Now everybody is doing it. This is the time to jump in and ride the wave. This is not the time to say, well, I'm going to start my business next year when things go back to normal. I mean, let me lean in and tell you another secret. It won't ever go back to the way it was. Things are never going to go back to the way they were. You have to adjust. You have to evolve. You have to pivot. As a CEO, as an entrepreneur, you got to know how to shift your entire organization. When companies get in a lull, you see they're bringing a new president. They're bringing a new CEO. Why? Because you need new, witty, and creative ideas. You need fresh insight. And that is downloaded right on the inside of you. And we're sitting on it. Let me go back to my first question. Who is answering for you? Is it the you that you desire to be? Or is it the you that you currently are? Because I promise you, if you are committed to your own personal growth and development, if you are committed to the vision that God has given you for your business, then you should be answering based on the you that you desire to be. And you're worth every sacrifice that's necessary for you to get there. And number 5, the last tip is use your imagination. Use your imagination. Successful people use their imagination. Make sure that you are using it to see the positive. See, it's easy to see the negative. It's easy to see all the negative things that's going on in this world, but you provide a solution to those negative problems. Use your imagination to see the things that's positive. And then while you're using your imagination, put it in detail, put it in writing. I want you to write it out. I want you to be clear so that you can get a clear mental picture of exactly what it is that you bring to the table. I want you to write out what you see in for your business. She posted that she's in the middle of writing a new book. And then from that book, I want you, this is a specific assignment for you as an author. I want you to write out what your book signing tour looks like. I want you to write out how many cities you will go to. I want you to write out how many times you will speak from the stage promoting your book, because writing the book and having it in your trunk is not the end all be all. God has a whole nation, a whole world that's out there that's waiting for you. So I want you to write the whole vision of where these books are going to lead you. Write out the number of groups of women, 6-week studies you're going to do with your books. Women's departments are always looking for books that they can pull in and that they can go through as a group. Why shouldn't it be one of the authors that's on this live? Write it out. Be very detailed. If you're a new entrepreneur and you're selling a product, use your imagination. I want you to write it out. If you plan on doing events, if you plan on doing sip and shop boutiques, if you're planning on having a mobile boutique, whatever your dream is, I want you to write it out. I want you to write it out. I see people going live now selling all kinds of stuff. At one time, you only saw one industry doing it. Now you see people selling all kinds of stuff. I want you to write it out. What does it look like when your business is successful? You got to use your imagination. And I don't want you to write it out like you do on your vision board and then you put it up until next January, or you put it up until the end of next year. It needs to be a living, breathing document so that you can see it on a regular basis. Who is answering for you? The you that you desire to be, or the you that you currently are? Here are the 5 tips again. Be a right now person is number 1. Number 2, have goals. Number 3, create the environment to support your growth. Number 4, evolve. And number 5, use your imagination. Your subconscious mind works to help you become aware of the course corrections to get you to where you need to be. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. When you use your imagination and you write out what your business looks like in a very successful way and you keep it in front of your eyes, your subconscious will then work without you even thinking about it to help you make the necessary course corrections to get you to live the life that you've dreamed of. But if you will never write it out, if you never put it in front of you, if you never have a visual of it, it can be delayed. It's one thing to say it, because you do need to say it. You also need to write it out. You also need a visual so that you can see it on a regular basis. So when you are looking for ways to take your business to the next level, if you're looking to work with me or any other workshops that you're looking to do, never let money answer for you. Never. Money must be neutralized. It's a tool. It's a resource. Never let your situation answer for you. Let me share this story with you. I remember years ago, I was in a crazy relationship. Before I met my husband, we've been married 17 years. And I needed to be in this workshop. I don't know why I felt like I needed to be in this workshop. It was down in Florida, but I felt with everything in me, I needed to be in that workshop. I didn't have any money. I had 4 kids. Do you know I held a car wash? Me and 3 other women, we held a car wash at a bank parking lot where we washed cars to raise the money to help us to get to that place. And when we got there, when I came back, I was not the same. I was focused. I was stronger. I don't know. It just did something to me. That was a turning point in my life. And I allowed the me that I desired to be to show up and answer for me. As a result of that, I'm living the life that I'm living now. I love y'all. If you want to be in my masterclass, there's still time. If you want to be in my Lead Academy, it's still time. And so let's just schedule a call, a 20-minute call, so that we can go over the details. I love y'all. If you know a business owner that needs a little bit of encouragement, send this to them. Y'all have a great day.